What's up, guys? Jacob Ober here. Welcome to my Week 9 NFL game preview between the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. Packers come into this game with a 3-4-1 record, the Dolphins with a 5-4 record. Packers are favored in this one by 9.5 points. They play at home. ESPN's matchup predictor here has the Packers with an 82% chance at winning, Dolphins with a 18% chance at winning. This is simply put, it's the game the Packers need to win. They have to win this game. They have advantages on both sides of the football. They have the home field advantage. A loss here would be really crushing. I wouldn't say it would end the season given how competitive the NFC is this year, but it would be really, really tough to climb yourself out of a hole like that 3-5-1 would present you. And in fact, you have a really tough schedule the next two games coming up. You really can't afford to lose. You really can't afford to lose either of those games if you lose this one. Winning this game gives you the opportunity to maybe drop the one against Minnesota. After that, the schedule lightens up a bit. I think they play the Cardinals and the Jets and the Bears after that. They have some easier games ahead after these two next road games after this one, but you got to be able to get this win. This is one where you marked on their schedule. You said, yeah, this is a game the Packers could get. And when you looked at this 5-game stretch that the Packers are in with the 4 road games, you looked at this game as the lone home game and said, this is a game the Packers can win. And the Packers definitely can win this one, and there's a reason that they're favored by so many points in this one, because they have got an advantage on every side of the football. They have their offense obviously has a favorable matchup against the Miami defense, which is giving up 258 yards through the air, 397 yards overall, and 25.5 points a game for average points given up a game. Yeah, the Packers have an advantage here when their offense is on the field. The Miami defense is not very good this year. The Miami offense, however, still not really that good. I mean, Brock Osweiler, he has not been terrible this year, but he is still Brock Osweiler. He's not a guy who's going to be able to carry a team on his back the way an Aaron Rodgers or a Drew Brees or a Tom Brady might be able to do. The Packers have the advantage in that department as well. The defense, they will look to get some interior pressure on Brock Osweiler. He is not the best when faced with pressure, and Kenny Clark will hope to bounce back after a less than stellar game against the Patriots. Obviously, though, he was double teamed for a lot of that game, so hopefully the Packers are able to get him going in this football game. And, I mean, if they can get pressure on Brock Osweiler, I really don't think there's any chance the Miami offense has at scoring points against the Packers defense. I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers defense is able to hold the Miami offense to, I'd say, under 17 points. At or under 17 points, that would be a good final result for the Packers defense, I would say. As long as they can get pressure on Brock Osweiler, they should be good, and they're not giving up open lanes for Frank Gore or anything like that. But they should be good on that side of the ball. I'm a little bit more worried about the offense. I know they have the advantage here. I mean, they have one of the best quarterbacks in the game. They're averaging 24 points a game on offense, but I just want to be able to see this offense get into more of a rhythm. I want to be able to see them attack the Miami defense from the start. I want to see them play with some tempo. I want to see Rodgers getting the ball out a lot quicker than he is, which I think sometimes his reluctance to get the ball out quickly has kind of forced the Packers offense into some tough situations. It's harder to move the ball downfield and consistently put together good drives when you're sitting back holding the ball instead of taking the easy yards like some other quarterbacks are doing. And I think I do talk about this in my previous video, by the way, about what's going wrong with the Packers thus far this season, but I think that Rodgers would be a lot better served getting this ball out quicker, getting it to his receivers and out in the open field and letting them make plays instead of him scrambling around trying to find guys along the sideline or down the middle of the field. He's got to be able to get the ball to the open receiver and let them make plays, and they've got some of the best in the game at doing that. Randall Cobb has always been good at that. Devontae Adams has always been good at that. Marquez Valdes-Scantling has been a surprise. He's a very speedy receiver. You get him out in the open field, and he's going to be very tough to chase down and bring down. So, with that being said, though, the Packers have every advantage, and the big advantage as well, being at home, that's going to play a huge part because it is November and it is Lambeau Field, and we just got snow this morning here in Wisconsin. So Miami is a team that plays in a lot of warmer weather environments, having playing 8 games in Miami and 4 games on the road versus divisional opponents in the South. So they're not accustomed to playing in colder weather. I'm not exactly sure what the forecast for Sunday is, but I think it's going to be at least under 35, I'd say, given the trend of the temperatures thus far this fall in Wisconsin. So So we'll see what happens there. But the Packers, they've got every advantage. They've got the home field advantage, the offensive advantage, the defensive advantage. They've got advantages across the board here. If they can't pull this one out, I would be supremely disappointed. And I mean, even if they win, if they don't play 4 quarters, a full 4 quarters in this game, I'd be a little bit disappointed. Obviously, I'll take any win at this point. The Packers have been really, really hurting for a victory with those 2 really heartbreaking losses the past 2 weeks. But that you think the Packers should have been able to win had it not been for the fumbles. But I'd really like to see the Packers put together a full 4-quarter performance in this game. They have every advantage in their favor. If they don't, I'd come away a little disappointed, but the important thing is obviously to get the victory. So any way they do that is a victory for the Packers and a victory for us fans as well, and a step in the right direction. So like Davante Adams said a few weeks ago, he thinks they're only a win away, and this could very well be the game that gets the Packers going on both sides of the football. And if it does, I mean, I'd be watching out if I were other NFL and NFC teams, to be exact, because this Packers team, I think, if they can get going down the stretch, they don't have as tough of a schedule once you get into December as some other teams do. And this NFC is really not that strong except for the Saints and the Rams on top. So it's going to be competitive. It's going to be coming down to the wire here in the season. And I think the Packers are going to have a good chance at being in the mix when December rolls around. And that's going to be key to the Packers and the way they run things in Green Bay. So anyways, guys, though, thanks for watching. That's my game preview for this week. I know I haven't done a lot of these for the past few weeks. I focus more on the upset portions, making videos on how the Packers can upset the past 2 opponents. They came dangerously close in the past 2 weeks, but weren't able to pull it. But they did a lot of things I said, and they were, in the end, they had a chance. So that was encouraging to see, to say the least. But you got to be able to turn some of those games into victories, and I think they're going to get a victory here at Miami. Final score prediction, I'm going to say the Packers get back on track. They're going to win this one 35-14 over the Miami Dolphins. They're going to be able to play a full 4-quarter game, hopefully, in this one, and get some momentum going into Seattle next Thursday. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Pack, go.